Welcome back to the Afia TV News Today, the discussion segment. And this afternoon, we will be focusing our discussion on the Sujimoto Enugu State government saga regarding the Smart School project awarded a contract. There's been a back and forth between Sujimoto and the Enugu State government, but 5 billion naira, or a little over 5 billion, is hanging on the balance. How will the Enugu State government get that money back, or get Mr. Suji Ugundele or Gumidele to fulfill the contractual terms? And what will government do if Sujimoto refuses to show up? Because right now, except of course, my guest tells me that they have Sujimoto, they haven't seen him, except for the video we saw where he cried briefly and blamed this and that. So yeah, that's the video there. So, of course, we will be having all that conversation this afternoon. My name is Alex Obodo. I'm joined this afternoon by Prince Ejeh Josh. He is the Special Assistant to the Governor on Research and Publications. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Alex. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you that you actually came to help us put things in perspective. A lot of people have, I think there are more questions for the government on this. The first question will be, why was it not possible for the government to notice that the contractor was not delivering well by the time the payments were beginning to come in?
Well, Alex, thank you for this opportunity to address this gray issue. Well, you know, in contracts, from the legal point of it, it's always an agreement between parties, you know. So for there to be contract, there must be what we call in law consensus addendum, meeting of two minds. So, and of course, that was what happened in the case of Sujimoto Luxury Construction Limited and Enugu State government. And that is what is happening in the state and what has happened, of course, that apply to all the contractors working for the state government. And let me also say this, that the state government is diligent, always does its due diligence, both legal and financial diligence before awarding any contracts. And before the administration of Governor Peter Mbah will award any contracts, it must follow the legal process, laid down procedure in line with the law. But of course, sometimes there may be disagreements. And how this disagreement is handled is what actually matters. Is what matters. And in this case, yes, there was a disagreement. And disagreement sprang from an aspect of a certain party trying to defraud the other party. You know, it's a crime. And let's say that the question of how did the state government not know shouldn't have actually arisen and should not even arise, because the state did all it ought to have done. And when you also look at Sujimoto, yes, it has a history or a pedigree. The state also saw what he'd been doing or what it had done before in terms of real estate and other infrastructure. So based on that and based on what the company provided or made available to the state, and the state and the administrations fact-checked everything and found it worthy. Of course, also the invitation to tender was also published or publicized in national daily and in local papers in line with the law. And there were competitors who came, people, contractors and companies that indicated interest. The process was made open. It was an open bidding. He won, and the contract was awarded to him. Of course, whether he has the capacity is never in doubt. He has the capacity, but the intention, and you know, it is very difficult to deduct or deduce intention at times. the job was given to him, the state did not just mobilize the 50% as being misconstrued outside there. No. See, what applies to other contractors also applies to him or to the company. First, if a contract is given to you, the intent, and it is actually in blue in the contracts, you'll be mobilized with 20% of the fund. And why these processes were taken was actually to prevent fraud or to prevent any contractor disappearing with the fund. Just imagine if the money had been paid 100% to him or to any contractor, but the state said no, we'll be paying you based on quantum merits. So stage by stage, based on what you've done, the administration will come, look at it. Hold on, please. Look at it. Look at what you've done and certify that, yes, you are done with this stage one, and they mobilize you for the next stage. So that was what happened in this Sujimoto case. So it was first mobilized with 20%, and the 22 smart schools or 20 smart schools given to him, he mobilized to all the sites, Enugu, Udi, Oji River. He did the foundation as the picture, and of course he raised the second certificate for payment or demand. The state went there, looked at it, okay, no problem, you've done this, certified him, and paid him the advance 30%. So it was at that point that he made a way or tried to make a way with the fund. It was at that point. And of course, this contract was awarded to him in 2024. And the state had been reaching out to him, come and complete what you began and what you were paid to do. Of course, he was giving excuses.
All right.
And that was why the state took action against him.
We saw a video that he made where he cried a few times. He said he was persuaded to do the job, and then that there's been price differentials, that this and that security was also an issue. Was there any point that Sujimoto made reports about his life being threatened or the life of his workers? Was there a formal request to the Enugu State government to provide security for his workers at various locations where he was operating? And when was the last time he was in Enugu to actually supervise the projects that his company is undertaking?
And let's see, the video from Sujimoto was a deliberate, a premeditated video. And the crime, the story, everything was a cock and bull story from him. It was a cock and bull story because he never raised this issue with the administration before. I work with the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. I go to inspection with them to all the 260 electoral wards we have in the states. And again, Sujimoto, the state always provided security, adequate security for him, because most of the places were interlands. Again, no other contractor had ever complained about the issue of insecurity. So was he the only contractor who should? And he never raised that with the state government, with the ministry, or with the administration. No. So, and of course, some of the videos, if you visit his Instagram and other handles, you see where he moved with convoy, security. So the state ensured that, because he told, after presenting everything during the bidding process, he presented himself as having the capacity to deliver within 6 months. And if you look at the contract, it is also in the contract that he was going to deliver within 6 months of the award of the contract, because he presented himself and the state actually believed him. So he never raised the issue of insecurity and the issue of price variation. Other contractors, now let's forget about the ethnic jingoism or the sentiment. We have 90-something% of our people in Southeast Igbos doing contracts in Enugu, road, smart school, some with 20, some with 12 smart schools, some 10s, some 15, based or depending on their capacity. It depends on the capacity you have, and you'll be awarded based on that. So when you look at almost of the roads in the state, where the roads are being done by Igbo contractors. When you also look at the type 2 primary health care, 260 by Igbo contractors. When you also look at most of the smart school, Igbo contractors. You get it? So, now, you raise the issue of price variation. Yes, there could have been a fluctuation in terms of, but yes, he should have come to discuss it with the administration that awarded him the contract. He didn't, which means that he intended to defraud the state. So he never discussed it with the administration.
So what it means is that it was when he was declared wanted by the EFCC that he came out to make the video. So, and before that time, he has not made any contact with the state government. And after he's made
the state government was
after he's made this video, has he actually made any contact with the state government?
See, Alex, the state government, you remember that the governor had promised, or the administration had promised the people of Enugu State that in September, smart schools will resume, right? In September. And it's not in doubt. Some of the smart schools had already been completed and they will be resuming in this September. And that was why most of the contractors were mobilized. I mean, they had no issue with mobilization with money so that they will fast track. You will also recall that the administration of Governor Peter Mbah always tie every project to a timeline so that they deliver within time. But in case of this, he never reached out, even though when the administration was reaching out to him, come and explain to us your problem, your challenges. Now, for you to also know, Governor Peter Mbah, as a democratic leader who follows due process, who is also empathetic, always have meetings with contractors working in the states. You know, evaluation meeting. It's at interval, sometimes once in a month, sometimes twice in a month, to know the progress so far and their challenges and how to come in to help them. The videos are there. I'll provide you with some of the videos. But this man, having got the 30% disappear, was never attending the meeting again, and the state was inviting him, come, let's know what the problem. So EFCC declaring him wanted. I'm not speaking for EFCC, I'm not an official of EFCC, but as a lawyer, I should know the process of investigation. Now, EFCC would not declare anybody wanted without extending invitation. So invitations were extended to him. EFCC also visited the sites. He extended to him, but he was dilly-dally, gallivanting all around, perhaps for, I don't know, the reason known to him. So it was declaring him wanted by the FCC was the last resort.
And he made a video.
And after he was declared wanted, he started shedding crocodile tears, you know, telling cock and bull story to whip up sentiment. That sentiment will not save him. So
that's what I'm saying. Has he, as at this moment, made contact with the Enugu State government?
Yes.
And has he honored the EFCC invitation?
Yeah, well, the first limb, he has not, made contact with the state government. But the second limb is less for the EFCC. I will not speak for the EFCC. EFCC is an independent law enforcement agency. So that if he doesn't, of course, in the video, he said he was going to honor the invitation and that he was even coming to Enugu State government. Now, if he doesn't honor it, the EFCC will go after him and apprehend him. See, there's no hiding place for him. Either he goes back or comes back and finish what he had started, or pay back what was given to him, or he face the music. See, the law is so clear. He who goes to equity or comes to equity must come with clearance. His hands had been swollen. That's because he had the intent to defraud. Is it a bad thing that the administration, out of love for diversity, accommodation, invited people with competence all over the country. He wasn't the first Yoruba man to work for Enugu State government. We had the Planet. Planet did and delivered within time. Some of the transport interchange that we're clapping, we're celebrating the state government for, celebrating Governor Peter Mbah for, was done by Planet. So now, again, you also agree with me that our people, Igbo people, also have contracts from other parts of the country. Lagos, Ondo State, Kaduna, Katsina, and so we are on one Nigeria. But the issue is that if a work or contract is given to you, ensure that you execute it within time and meet up with the specification. If you don't, the law will take its course and you go in for it. See, Soji will go in for it. The state is bullish to ensuring that every dime is paid. And he must pay for it and, of course, pay damages. Don't forget that he also has properties everywhere. So those properties can be identified. The law will be used to ensure that everything is recouped. Properties he has in Lagos, he has in part of the country. So the machinery of the court will be set in motion and the court will look at it. Of course, the FCC is also there to help us recoup this. So he should not think that this government, that is a government, is a business as usual. You will always, in the past, all over the country, we had abandoned projects. And this was the issue of abandoned projects, because of either kickback or this thing. But the administration of Governor Peter Mbah has come out transparent, accountable and traceable for the people to see what is happening.
We'll take a very quick break. Prince Ejeh Josh, when we return, we'll wrap up this conversation. Stay with us. You're welcome back to Afia TV News discussion segment, and I'm still here with Prince Ejeh Josh. He's a special assistant to the Enugu State Governor on Research and Publications. So, what's the next line of action? Let's just assume, hypothetically, if Sujimoto refuses to show up and gets into the protracted level of the EFCC taking over this case completely, what will the state government do about the smart schools? Because ordinarily the smart schools, all of them were supposed to be in place by this September. So, and what will now happen? So is the government going to take off with the completed ones?
Yes. Now, with what has happened, what government intends to do is to re-award the contracts because the administration will not wait for, will not wait for anybody, will not wait for any contractor. Once you are not performing, it is, there are clauses in the contracts. Once you are not performing or you don't meet up, you are unable to meet up with the timeline given to you, you don't have genuine reason, the administration will terminate. In fact, by law, it even terminates, and the administration will, of course, re-award to other contractors that are ready to take over. And there will be check and balance, you balance the state, and if the state is owing you or the administration will balance you. So that is what is on ground. There is no time to see. Governor Peter Mbah's administration is in a hurry to deliver all its promise the people. And that is why you see that the administration is doing multiple projects at the same time. So be assured that those ones that are ready, we've had many smart schools that are ready. So they are going to kick off. We have Queens. When you get to GTC, you see 2 smart schools plus the TVET making 3. So when you get to Nike, you see schools, Ugom Nike, what have you, Suka. Yesterday, I actually made a video of the smart school at Obupa. in Soka. We have some at Enugu. Igbo is a North local government area that are also ready. You go to Anili, you see some smart schools that are ready. You go to Ogu, some of them are ready. Udi, so some of them. So these ones are going to kick off. So the administration is waiting for nobody going to kick off. We can't keep our students, our children waiting. So if you go to Queens now, you see that almost everything is set. If you go to Amechi Dodo Smart School, you see that everything is ready. So they are just waiting for children to resume school. So we're waiting for nobody. The wheel of the administration of governance must continue to run, but in Enugu, run faster than others, and that is why the Enugu State is on top ahead of other states in the Federation.
All right, so I have to thank you so much, Prince Ejeh Josh, Special Assistant to the Enugu State Governor on Research and Publications. Thank you for your perspectives on the program this
afternoon. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you for staying with us on the news today. Do follow us on all social media platforms at Afia TV Official. My name is Alex Obodo. Many thanks for watching. Good afternoon.